All right, so now we're going to talk about two cars traveling up. They're starting at a different place from each other, so this is going to make it a little more challenging. So here's, no, not boats, sorry, cars. There's one car, and here's another car, and there's 200 miles between them to begin with. Okay, so car A is traveling west towards where car B was initially. So this must be car A, because it's traveling west towards where car B was to start with. Car B is traveling north. And remember I told you want to label the side links, not just the cars, but it is kind of good to get an idea of what's going on here. So let me draw it again. So I have 200, then I have this B is here. Now let's talk about what is happening with A. So there was a distance of 200 to begin with, all the way to this edge, and then this car moved this way, so that's where A gets labeled. So not just the car, but the side length, there's A, and this side length is B. And so I want to find out the distance between the two cars changing. So there's my C. So how am I going to make a triangle out of this? So I need to find out what this side length is. And I think you've done enough problem solving that you can see that this here, this side length will be 200 subtract A. All right, so then what's my Pythagorean theorem going to be? C squared will be B squared plus 200 minus A all squared. And let's get my rates down here. So dA over dt is 50. And that distance A that I've labeled is getting larger at 50 miles per hour. dB over dt is 60. And the when is when time is 2 hours, 2 hours later. All right, let me bring this equation over here. Let me erase this picture, giving myself some more room. All right, bringing the equation over here. I want to be careful in taking this derivative. All right, taking the derivative with respect to t. 2c dc dt, 2b db dt, plus, all right, chain rule is happening here. 200 minus a to the 1 power, and I'm moving in to take the derivative here. The derivative of 200 is 0, but I'll have a negative dA dt. All right, so I see 2's canceling everywhere. So let's begin to figure this information out. So 2 hours later, so I'll leave C here for a second. So dc dt. So the distance that B will go is 120, 60 miles an hour for 2 hours, times dB dt, which is 60, plus, and let's figure out what A is doing. A is going to be 100, so 200 minus 100, negative 50. All right, so now I can draw my little triangle. So B is 120. This distance here, because that's what I need, this distance here to find this C, right? This red distance is what I need to find the triangle. So that red distance is 100. So then I can figure out what C is equal to. 120 squared plus 100 squared. Getting a little bit of an idea. 120 squared plus 100 squared gives me about 156. So dc dt gives me 7,200, and then this here is going to be negative, right? So I have 100 times 50, so 5,000 all over C, which is 156. So I can, dc dt is still a positive rate. They still are moving, the distance between them is still increasing.